It's good to be here tonight. This is actually, this is awesome, right? I knew that with a little hard work and practice, someday I could be a mall entertainer. This is awesome. I'm this close to being Santa Claus. This is a childhood dream. Except Santa Claus is a hard worker. Probably Mexican. Right? I mean, he sure knows his way around a roof. Crosses international borders completely undetected. Maybe instead of milk and cookies, we should be leaving out chips and salsa. Just a thought. It is weird how these days people invite you out to get drunk at the mall and drive through it. I remember when that used to be 3 days in jail plus news coverage. I'm glad you guys came out, though. It's good to be here tonight at the Dayton Funny Bone. It's also good that the Dayton Funny Bone isn't actually in Dayton, right? I feel safe here. I did a show yesterday in Dayton. Not so safe. Like as soon as I got to Dayton, my GPS was like, in 0.2 miles, duck down and pray. The show was at Dayton Correctional Institute, which is currently an all-female prison. So if you ever want to feel like Justin Bieber for a day, that's where you go. Felt like I was smuggling in some contraband, just having balls, you know? I was really popular. You gotta watch what you say when you do a prison show, because some of those bitches got shanks, you know? According to a documentary I watched on Netflix. On the documentary, one of the prisoners got caught hiding a scissor in their rectum. That's pretty dangerous, right? You're not even supposed to run with scissors. In your hand, you know? It wasn't even a pair of scissors, just one scissor. Not like a little scissor, this was orange handle. I assume, I don't know, you couldn't see the handle because it was an x-ray, you know? But I think if there's no handle, it kind of makes it less of a weapon and more of like a home defense system, you know? Nobody's breaking into that butthole. I recently stopped smoking weed, just right over here by this door. Some guy was like, "You can't do that in here, buddy." Yeah, that joke went over pretty well at the prison, too. Maybe better. Recently celebrated a birthday. I turned 34. Yeah. I realize it's not like a milestone birthday, but I was excited. Finally outliving Jesus. Do I have to die for my own sins now? I don't know the rules. Not very religious. Like, I don't go to church, but I do follow God on Twitter. I think that's close enough. Had a good birthday, though. My girlfriend said she would get me anything I wanted for my birthday if I agreed to do a little bit of manscaping first. That was her deal. I feel like that's one of those careful what you wish for things, you know? That's a lot of upkeep, and I'm pretty lazy. Get a little bit of stubble growing on there. That's gonna be a pain in her ass, right? It's gonna feel like I'm sawing her in half like some 2-bit magician. I said no. I said no to the manscaping, because I feel like if there's one thing that should look manly, it's a dick. I don't want some manicured, girly wiener. I want a manly looking dick, you know? I want my dick to look like it rolls its own cigarettes. Has a couple warrants and rides a Harley or something. Might even get like a teardrop tattoo at the end. Going for like a Dick Dynasty look. You know? Got an iPad for my birthday. I think I deserved it. Finally, I can play the piano while I shit. I don't know what else to do with it. It was expensive, too. The only way it would have been more expensive is had I gotten the AppleCare insurance to cover the device. That stuff, I call it the AppleCare ripoff, really. It's ridiculous. It's so expensive, it's probably cheaper to just adopt an Asian kid. I figure, why mess with the warranty when you can just purchase the manufacturer? The message, or I guess the message here is that rice is cheap. Anywho. I opened my garage this morning and I had a possum crawl in there. And it was crawling with its front legs, but it was dragging its back legs. And I didn't know if it was like really injured or just playing paraplegic. Because sometimes possums will play dead, but I didn't know if they could also play Lieutenant Dan. That's an Academy Award winning possum right there in my garage. Gotten skinny. I realized I've gotten so skinny my dog doesn't even beg for food anymore. He's just like, nah, you keep it. Started leaving me messages. I think he's looking out for my well-being, you know. He'll bring home birds and squirrels. The other day he brought home an application. Apparently he doesn't think this whole comedy thing is working out. I don't take advice from my dog. I figure, how smart could he be? Every time he takes a shit, he wipes his feet. That ain't where the poo come from, you know? I have a deceptive look about me, you know? Like, I look like someone who could take off running if they had to. Not true. I don't even eat healthy, you know, because it's expensive to eat healthy. It seems like anything that's good for you costs an arm and a leg, which is ironically the same price as diabetes. No matter how you look at it, that joke's pretty sweet. Started taking vitamins, oh, that would help. They're called 1 a day, but the directions clearly state take 2 a day. It just seems harder than it has to be, you know? That's why people quit. Went to Waffle House last night because I haven't had the shits in a while. This was a real Waffle House too. Like, even the hand dryers had a smoker's cough, you know? I was drying my hands, it was like, kept waiting for some phlegm to shoot out or something, because I thought, maybe that's where the soap is. Maybe. I hadn't been to a Waffle House in a while, so I asked the waitress, I was like, what do you recommend? And she was like, Burger King. I do eat a lot of fast food. Here's a tip though, if you're gonna eat fast food, you should always pay with a 50. Because I found that most of those kids suck at math. This works great. I went to Arby's the other day, ordered $13 worth of food, paid with a 50, they gave me my food and $56 in change. That's free food and gas money. Apparently they thought I paid with a 70. Those are rare, right? I always say rare because I think you could get a 70 at Fifth Third Bank. They're not very good at math either. Right? Because they call themselves Fifth Third instead of something that makes sense. like 1 2/3 bank. Some of you aren't laughing. You see, 5 doesn't go into 3. That's where the joke is. Maybe you're not laughing because you just found out your bank sucks at math. That could be it. I like doing shows here in Ohio. I think people in Ohio have a great sense of humor.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah.
She agrees. I did a show recently in eastern Ohio, and I drove through a place called Licking County. That's an odd name for that place. I was on the highway, and I was driving through Licking County, and I came upon a red light that I assumed was like the main road through Licking County. And I'm sitting at this red light, and I noticed that to the left, this road was called Licking Valley, which I thought sounded provocative. And they did it on purpose too, because to the right, this road was called Brownsville. Folks, I know a joke when I see one. Right? That's kind of a mean joke too, because I think they were trying to taint the highway. I think one guy got it. Someday when I get some money, I want to go back there and open a restaurant right where those two roads meet that serves nothing but freshly tossed salad. Call it Shooters or something, I don't know. So I think of something funnier. Caught a fly with my bare hand today. That's no way to impress a lady, but my cat was like, "Well done, sir." Went to Kings Island the other day. That's a fun place to people watch. See some good stuff there. At one point, I was next in line for the drop zone, which is, if you don't know what the drop zone is, it's like a tower where they pick you up and they drop you. It's a ride for people who want to try suicide, but they're not willing to commit. So I'm next in line for the drop zone, and the guy getting on the ride facing me he's a big fella, couldn't get his safety harness down over his girth of a person, you know? And the next thing I know, there was an employee on each side, like with a hold of his harness, just pulling, you know, just giving it all they got. Meanwhile, this guy's just sitting on this, hoping for one click. One click. And this dude is gonna ride this ride. I don't know if you've ever rode the drop zone before, but typically you want like 6, 7, 8 clicks. Damn sure don't want to be able to count the clicks. Out of nowhere, they broke out some duct tape. And I was like, hold up, buddy, this ain't Americana. You guys not remember that shithole?
Oh, yeah.
No, it just wasn't funny, all right. Not everyone called it Americana. Some people called it Fantasy Farm. Either way, it meant the same thing. You were poor. Fantasy Farm, yeah, you remember that place? Yeah. It doesn't matter. I'm moving on. I was with you though, I was poor as a kid. I know I was poor because I had to share everything. That's a sign. Because when you're poor, you have to share your toys with other kids. You have to share your bedroom with your brother. You have to share your basketball court with traffic. It's bullshit. I had one of those families that no matter their main punishment, their go-to punishment was canceling Christmas. You guys ever do that? Take the cheap way out? You can. One year they went through with it. Canceled Christmas. Well, actually, they didn't so much as cancel it as just not save up the proper amount of Marlboro miles in order to pay for it. Not sure enough of you laughed to keep going with this. My mom had a slogan. She said, "You can buy anything with Marlboro miles." I found out a few years later that's not true. Guess you can buy anything but health care. Or a coffin. Yeah. No, don't worry. It all worked out. After thumbing through the catalog, we buried her in a really nice tent with a leather jacket. I'm just kidding. You can't bury a tent. We just set it up in the yard like a white trash mausoleum. The landlord, not a fan. But we saved a lot of money because it sleeps 4. I'm glad I continued. You guys are a fun crowd. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Hope you had so far it's been good, right? Yep, that stall wasn't long enough. Tell you what, I'll do this. I do have a t-shirt for sale after the show. It says ireviewrestaurants.com. Yeah, it's not funny, but it does get you great service at every restaurant you wear it to. Except cash and all forms of credit cards, so, just to limit your excuses. I also carry change for a 70, just in case it ever comes up. Any NASCAR fans? Not in Beaver Creek, right? No. I love NASCAR season, not because I'm a fan of the sport, but I think that during the race is the safest time to go to Walmart. You can just be in and out, I know it's not good to shop at Walmart, but I'm poor enough to shop there, but I'm smart enough to be ashamed of it. That seems different. I have a comic buddy, he always shops there. He's proud of it. But he does a lot of asshole things, so I don't judge. He does. I did a show for him last week, and he paid me with a check. He gave me a check for $80, and in the memo line he wrote, "For renting your butthole." Yeah, sure, that's funny until you try to cash the check. The teller came up to me and she was like, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't cash this check." And I was like, well, he was just kidding. She, in a very business-like tone, she was like, "Well, he forgot to sign the check. We don't dispute that that's what you did it for." Just right to my face. I did get her back, though, because once he signed the check, I took it back into Fifth Third, and she said, "Is there any particular way you'd like to have this back?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a 10 and a 70. Just wanted to see if they had them. They did not. Let's do something different. By round of applause, how many people want to see some magic? Well, you came to the wrong show then, I guess. I don't do magic. I once made a baby disappear, but it cost me $700. Magic kits are expensive. It was worth it though, right? Because this trick had everything. The parents were pissed. They were all serious. They were like, "Hey buddy, where's our baby?" And I was all like, "Ta-da!" Don't worry, they got her back. Because I think that's the polite thing to do once they pay the ransom. See, it smells like an abortion joke, but it's a kidnapping joke, and that's completely different. I'll leave you guys on this last joke here. I feel like some people treat people a little bit, or treat their dogs a little bit better than people. I don't know what they're called, like weirdos, I guess. I don't know. You see this all the time on Facebook. And some people don't think that they're out there, but I came up with a little test. By round of applause, how many people know that chocolate is poison to dogs? And by round of applause, how many people know that honey is poison to infants? Never as much applause on that second part. That means that someone found out about that chocolate thing, and they were like, hey, we got to get the word out. Tell everyone you know. Someone heard about that honey thing, they were like, hey, there is a way out. Let's keep this to ourselves. My name is Jonathan Craig, folks. You guys have been great. Thank you.